Upgrades are a wonderful thing in football, not an essential thing, alright? If you have a bad player, you need to replace him with someone a bit better. Let's find the best current upgrade in the Premier League squad. Liverpool, Alisson, Loris Karius. Yeah. So here's what's getting slapped in the thumbnail. One of the biggest upgrades in Premier League history. Although for 60 million quid you'd hope so. Listen, I know Jurgen Klopp was supportive of Loris Karius even after his Champions League nightmare. But secretly he must have felt like chucking his hands in a toaster. On his day he was a decent shot stopper for Liverpool. But that Kiev disaster essentially chucked his confidence in a blender. For God's sake, he was getting laughed at by lads from Tranmere. Alisson's arrival has coincided with 97 points in his first season, Champions League glory, world glory, and eventually the club's first title in 30 years. And I can count his mistakes on just one finger. You don't get a much bigger improvement than that. Man United, Bruno Fernandes, Andres Pereira. Finally, after a transfer saga that seemed to last 2 lifetimes, he eventually arrived from Sporting Lisbon in January. Finally, the club have a bit of creativity in midfield. He's already got 2 goals and 3 assists. After 6 games, this lad is still yet to taste defeat in English football. And what's more, he's relegated an out-of-depth Andres Pereira after just 2 goals and 2 assists in his last 46 games to the bench. Fernandes has officially been more productive in 6 weeks than Pereira has in over a year. Good lord. Man City, Ederson, Claudio Bravo. Again, like with Liverpool, Man City needed to sort out their goalie problem before even dreaming about winning more titles. In Pep Guardiola's defense, that was the first thing he tried to do, flinging Joe Hart to the sidelines and handing the #1 shirt to a Champions League winning goalie in Claudio Bravo. It's just a shame Bravo then displayed the reflexes of a chocolate teapot. So again, the club are forced to fork out big money on Ederson. His arrival coincided in 2 league winners medals. Tottenham, Harry Kane, Roberto Soldado. Imagine if Spurs had used the Gareth Bale money to sign a big name centre forward who actually did hit the ground running at Spurs. Had Spurs not wasted 30 million quid on Roberto Soldado, an overrated penalty merchant seemingly allergic to the English game, that I'm guessing the unwanted Harry Kane would have probably been sold. Let's be honest, it was Spurs' blind desperation that forced them to give Harry Kane a chance, with Soldado scoring just 7 league goals in 52 games. Since bursting onto the scene with a free kick at Villa Park, Kane by contrast has scored 180 goals in 6.5 seasons. Good lord. Southampton, Danny Ings, Charlie Austin. As we established last week, Charlie Austin was grossly overpaid at Southampton. £70,000 a week for a guy with a 1 in 6 goal scoring record, for a guy who scored an average of 5 goals a season. It's weird how intertwined the careers of Austin and Danny Ings are. They were once together at Burnley, with Austin netting 28 goals in 40 games during the 12-13 season. Ings served up just 3 in 33. But following Austin's departure for QPR, he exploded into life with 26 goals the next campaign. 7 years later, it's a similar story. Ings is to follow back to yet again, although this time he's massively putting Austin to shame. 26 goals in 55 games. Chelsea, N'Golo Kante, John Obi Mikel. But don't get me wrong, alright? John Obi Mikel was a good servant for Chelsea, despite having begun his time at Stamford Bridge with a false kidnapping. Right, so that seems like something that would be dreamed up by Monty Burns' son. Never mind a professional football club. Anyway, while a decent player, Antonio Conte clearly wanted more dependent steel in the middle of the park. The man you managed was still effective, but ask any Chelsea fan, the man was definitely less so after Ashley Barnes almost consigned him into a wheelchair in Bell. And so, to add a degree of protection, N'Golo Kante was dragged in from Leicester for 30 million quid. Considering this man would win another league title and the World Cup and now commands wages close to £300,000 a week, how in a donkey's left toenail did Leicester not manage to squeeze out more than 30 million quid for him? For Christ's sake, they sold Danny Drinkwater for more than that. Wolves, Ruben Neves, David Edwards. This is why you don't take anything from stats. During the 16-17 campaign, David Edwards spanked home 10 goals from midfield. The following year, his replacement Ruben Neves only managed the paltry 6. 6 in 44 games. On the face of it, you'd assume the Welsh journeyman was a better player. Not a hope in hell. Anyway, that's the end of it, lads. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Have I got this wrong? Let me know that. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to get a like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I'll talk to you in a while.